It's recording, right?
ครับผม it says wait okay now you're recording it's there's a delay.
Why is it 35? It's we recorded
Yes,
earlier.
I'm not sure ครับอาจารย์ because yeah it says 35 minutes right but I just pressed recording like just now, so I think that is the time that this meeting room has been created. I don't think it's the time like the time that has been recorded, but it's the time of the meeting.
Group 2. Okay, ready, go.
Okay. Hello everyone, we are from Group 2. Today we are going to present about LPG galaxy. Let's begin with the first one. Next please. Okay. This is the graph showing the different industries. The blue one is for the industry and the orange one is for the service. As you can see that for the industry, the highest demand is for the electrical, and for the service is the office. Next. This graph shows the demand of industry and service in each year. You will see that the service or the orange line are stable for like every year, and in the industry the highest one is seemed to be in 2017.
In this slide, we will compare in province. There are two provinces that have high percentage. The first one is Samut Prakan. In Samut Prakan, there is high percentage of electrical authority with 76%. And the second province is Bangkok. The high percentage of industry is chemical.
In this slide, we create a new data. So in the column, we use the month date, and in the row column, we use some demand. And we filter year date and SKU, and then we forecasting the SKU in the next year. As you can see that the lower T SKU is so stable in the next year, but on the red line of SKU in LPG or 1T, the next year the line is so go to the down 10 line. So we need to use the campaign or promotion to increase the demand of LPG or 1T. So we will send in the next. So I will move on, go to the next slide. Next slide, we will add the data of sector, type, and SKU. This is the slide to show the overview of sector. So overview of sector, we show that most of the type come from electrical authority, which include of the product LPG or 1T. But in the next slide, if we focus only in the private sector, the type of the private sector is from chemical, and the bar chart on the right hand side, we show the SKU of chemical SKU that most of the chemical come from LPG or 1T. Next slide.
And about the marketing campaign, so we decided to focus on the private sector as we can't do much about the public sector as they are electrical authority. So from last slide, the highest revenue generating is the chemical type, and we decided to focus on the LPG 013. And for the marketing campaign, we decided to do the membership card. So top up all type of the LPG SKU. For 1,000 baht, you will get 100 points. And after collecting point for 10,000 points, you will get 100 baht off from refueling. Next, please. And about the strength and weakness, the LPG company strength is that they have good performance on the LPG 013 and strong sales in the electrical type. And for the weakness, they highly reliant on single type of customer per each sector. So in the public sector, they rely on electrical, and in the private sector, they rely on the chemical.
For our last slide is 4P marketing mix. For place, we have several gas stations to distribute the LPG. And for product, we focus on LPG 013. And we also use LPG 013 to do the promotion to attract customer to use other LPG. And for price, customer have high demand for LPG 013, so we can set quite high price. And lastly, for promotion, we also have TV advertisement and also have online advertisement, and we will focus on location based to focus on customer who live near the area of gas station. And thank you for your attention.
Okay, good. Next group. Who will next group?
Five.
Go.
Can you see the screen?
Yeah. Yes.
Good afternoon, teacher and my friend. We are from Group 5. We have 4 members in our group: Torab, Govin, Liulom, and Mahiton. So we are presenting about the LPG gas tank. This graph shows that the type by demand industry. The highest demand in the industry is electrical authority. The next slide is presenting the type by demand service, and the highest demand is in the office service. This graph shows that the year by demand. The highest demand is in the 2017 years, and followed by 2016 and 2015, and 2018 has the lowest demand comparing to the 4-year. This graph shows that the product type that we sell the most is the LPG gas tank that contain 13 kilo gas tank. This graph shows that for every year in the month, we sell the LPG gas tank 13 kilos the most, followed by the 4 kilo gas tank, the 15 kilo gas tank, and 48 kilo gas tank. This graph shows the demand by year for seasonal. We can see that from the April to July, we have the highest sales for every category of gas tanks. But the most demand gas tank is still LPG 13 kilo gas tank. Followed by the year 2016. The highest demand in gas tank is still the 13 kilo gas tank. And this graph is year 2017. You can see that from the October to December of each year, the demand for gas tank is dropping. And this is the graph from 2018. We can see that the spread of selling gas tank for 13 kilo is very much the same. Liu. Okay, maybe my friend has some internet problems, so I will continue presenting. This graph shows that the year that has the highest demand. We can see that the highest demand is in the year 2017, followed by 2016, 2015, and 2018, so on and so forth. And you can see that the highest demand in the year is currently in the March and continue decreasing, followed by the end of the year. This is the province that we sell the gas tank for in Thailand, and we have the highest sale in Samut Prakan. This graph compare between the demand in industry and demand in service. We can see that the demand of gas tank in industry is the most in gas tank 13 kilos, and the demand for service gas tank is highest in LPG gas tank for 4 kilo. And this graph represents the gas tank demand in year 2016. It's almost the same from the 2015. Followed by this is year 2017. We can see that the demand by service has the most sale demand in office service, followed by the shopping service. And still the electrical authority in industry, it will have the highest demand. And this graph represents the year 2018. The demand by service for shopping service has the highest demand, followed by the office.
Next part is our company information, our strength and weakness. Our strength, we provide good quality LPG gas tank for every industry and service. And we have a strong sale in Samut Prakan province. And for our weakness, we have only sales in only 4 to 5 province in central region, and we have only strong sale in 13 kilo LPG gas tank, and we have a very low amount of sale in 48 kilo gas tank. Next slide. This is our 4P. For our product, we sell LPG gas tank around Bangkok metropolitan region, and for our price, our company provide a good price of gas tank for everyone. For our promotion, we will promote LPG gas tank 13 kilo LPG gas tank to increase our sales, and we will make a discount for LPG gas tank in 48 kilos. And for place, our company provide LPG gas tank for all industry and service. Next slide. This is our long-term plan. From our analysis, between April and to October, demand will decrease, so we have to make a promotion to support and increase our sales, such as discount and announce more promotion. And if we cannot increase our target after we did the promotion, we will reduce our production capacity and we will advertise for our product in the region that we have low sales amount, and we might change our production plan by stop the production line on 48 kilo LPG gas tank and then we will increase the production line in 13 kilo LPG gas tank to sell more. Next slide. And for our short-term plan, we will focus on the industry and service that we have high amount of sales, and we will make more advertisement for good product that we have low amount of sales to clear our stock, and we might stop the production in that product for a period. Next slide. This is all reference and thank you.
Okay, good. Yeah, move on. Next group.
Group 5 Group 6 ครับ
excuse me ครับ for the chat line what is the previous group presenting ครับ group group 5 right
Yes,
so I sent the message before the group 6 ครับ it should be group 3 or
but I also send message before Group 5 too
oh okay I'll let you present first ครับ
Whoever is on screen now, just do it.
okay I will present it after group 6 is okay ครับ
Okay, which group is the 6? ตอนแรกyou're just done, right? Which group is on now? 6?
Hey, good morning, teacher and friends. Today we are from Group 6. Our group member have Pichaya, Tirapon, Natanisha, Nachawat, Pitawat, and Tipravi. Okay, and in our presentation, we will provide total of 6 graphs. The first graph is the visualization that shows the province that has the highest consumption of LPG gas. And the next one, map chart. This chart will provide the type of business that consume the most LPG gas and following by the service. On the next, the line chart, this graph will provide the demand of LPG usage in each month with the forecasting of 2 years. Next one is the industry by year. In this graph, we will provide the demand of LPG usage in each year with the service. And the last one is the industry by the SKU. This graph will provide which size of the gas tank that have the highest demand. Next slide ครับ Okay ครับ In the first graph, we can see that the electrical authority has the highest consumption of LPG gas with total of 56.75%, following by chemicals, non-metals, and others. And
for compare different years, we create this bar graph to show you that from the graph, majority customer is most in industry customer, while the highest years that have highest demand is 2017. In the service look more stable than industry, but the graph is falling down in 2018. Next For the forecast, the tableau create this graph and the prediction look increase in 2019 and look falling down in 2020.
For this graph, industry by storage keeping unit, there are 4 types of gas. For industry, LPG 013 is the highest demand, and LPG 004 has the best service. Next, please. Demand by province. There are 5 provinces shown in the map. The darkest blue is Samut Prakan, which has the highest demand. Next is Bangkok, Nonthaburi, Chonburi, and Pathum Thani.
For strength and weakness, we separate into groups. Strength is environmental friendliness, improvement young forest, thinning, and moderate heating cost. For the weakness, high demand for skilled specialists and high transportation costs. For our campaign, first is policy markers determine whether and how pricing regime, tax, and subsidies are tailored to enable poor people to adopt and use LPG on a sustained basis, and enlarge sales and markets in 3 provinces where is less sale, and full adoption to use the clean burning fuel in many households as fuel stacking rather than charcoal purchase, which have high cost and bad environment. And next.
And to support the business, we offer to use 4S marketing mix strategies is what developed to better suit the current situation and economy. There are 4 main strategies: save, solution, source, and share. Next. Next slide. For the solution part, it's a way for brand to deliver the value to society through the product and service. Also, it must be smart for sustainable move to the long-term plan. We think that we should construct more LPG stations to encourage more people to use LPG rather than oil. And moreover, we will build more sales offices for providing more information for the people and invite them to use it. To the short-term plan, we use B2B promotions such as gift discount for new customer or extend yearly service that make us reach a new market and increase the sale.
Next is sort and save. We combine 2 bullets together because this project you have in long-term plan, which is the import petroleum from the cheaper source, as I add from the Myanmar or the other country that we have lower price than Thailand source. And I think that this plan is to take a lot of budget and a lot of time. So I think we have only the long-term plan for sort and save. And the last, next please. And the last one is share. Share is a marketing communication of the product and service through the publication. We have the long-term plan, which is CSR to the community to engage the environment, to help the people who live nearby station and people who live in nearby the production and manufacturing. And the short-term plan, we decrease transportation cost for 3 months to engage the market and increase the sale. So thank you for your attention. This is our group list member.
Okay, thank you. Next, group 3.
โอเคครับ โอเคครับ Can you see my screen ครับ
Yeah. Okay.
โอเคครับ
Okay. So, good morning, everyone. My name is Taran, and we are Group 3. So, first off, we're going to start with some information and insight for management. So, for the number of customers, as you can see, for the service, we have over 580 distinct, unique customers. And for the industry, we have over 367 customers. For the SKUs or the products, we have 4 types: the 4 kilograms, 13 kilograms, 15, and 48 kilograms. And as you can see, that the 4 kilograms are the most popular among the service sector, which has over 1.3 million units sold. And for the 13 kilograms is the most popular among the industry sector with over 19.7 million units sold. Next, please. For the annual seasonal demand, as you can see in the line chart, for the industry sector, the first quarter of the year, you can see a sharp rise in demand every year. And for the fourth quarter, you see a sharp drop in demand every year. But for the service sector, the demand is plateauing throughout from 2015 to towards the end of 2017. And then there's a drop in demand. Next.
So in this one, we can see that for industry sections, for the strength point is the electric authority that we can have that just like the top consumption for about 57%. For the service, we have a strength at the office, shopping center, and the hotel. And the rest that I highlighted in yellow rectangular is just the weakness that we try to improve for the next years or the next plans. And next one is you can see that in this graph. So if we comparing between the each province, we can see that the Samut Prakan have the highest province that we can sell the LPG, and the second one is the Bangkok. For the Pathum Thani, that you can see that there is the lowest demand at that province. So if we have the chance or we can penetrate that market, is okay for the next quarter or next year.
Okay, for the marketing campaign, I think it's going to be 1 to 2. And it's going to be seasonal push campaigning. For the first campaign, it's going to focus on the industrial type. After we see that the demand is going to go skyrocket on mid-year and gone down in the end of the year, and at the beginning of the year is still low. So we'll launch the campaign at the beginning and at the end of the year. So the campaign detail would be like the sale for the industry for the gas tank, maybe start at 5% and increase to up to like 10%, depend on the wages that the industrial purchases. And the second campaign is for the service. This campaign will be like all year campaign, and the reason that we need the campaign for the service because we see that the demand is constant through the year until when it's around to 2018. We see that the demand dropped. So maybe we have to maintain the relationship with the service type of company. So the campaign will be like special reward to the customers, such as like gift voucher, and maybe send some gifts to them to make them still buy from us. Yeah, so that's it. Next.
Or when we analyze in the customer demand, we see that for the industry and the service will have more in terms of the number of customer, however in terms of the demand the industry will have much more demand compared to the service. So in long term, we would like to concentrate and develop the relationship with the industry partner as well as try to find more opportunity for the service or like find more quality service partner. Next, and now we will have a small dashboard using the map to locate each province and see the performance of the province before we allocate like the budget for the next 1 year or our forecast. Next.
So for the dashboard, firstly we will focus. We will go through Samut Prakan province, and then next is Bangkok. So let me share.
Okay, I will let her share the tablet. I cannot have action.
So this is our for the performance to analyze the performance of each province. So firstly, we focus on Samut Prakan province because this one have the highest demand. So this one, we see Samut Prakan, it will focus into two sectors. First is state, the state enterprise and the private. For these two sectors, we will focus on the 13 kg gas tank, and here is the forecast. The forecast for the amount for next 2 years for each SKU. You can see the detail here, and for each sector like private and state enterprise sector and also like government. So here we can see that for the private, the demand will be increased from like 140 to 180 and so on. For state enterprise, the demand will be fluctuate, but it will be around like 200,000 per month. So we can allocate our capacity for this sector. For the government, based on our current data, like currently we don't have the record for the demand for the government. So this one we cannot say like how many capacity we should sell for this sector, but based on the historical data, the demand from this sector is not much, so we can like not focus on this one. And here in Samut Prakan, we also noted that for this province, we mostly focus on the industry sector, which have higher like significantly higher demand compared to the food service. And next one is Bangkok. So Bangkok, we can see here like firstly we see like in Bangkok the service sector is have more portion compared to the proportion for compared to the industry. And this one we can focus on 2 SKU is the 13 kg and the 4 kg. This one we also can we will mostly focus on the private sector, and the detail is shown in the forecast for SKU and each sector here. And we will analyze continue analyze for other provinces like Pathum and Nonthaburi and Chonburi. But we in this presentation we just like focus on these 2 provinces have a highest demand.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's down now. We're getting long. Okay, are you guys finished? Yes. We're kind of like running out of time. Yeah, that's good. Okay, thank you. Can we move on to grade group 10?
Please stop sharing your screen. Okay. Hello everyone. My name is Piatida and I'm here with my friend Pumpat, Thananai and Gewali. Today we are going to present about the case study of LPG Galaxy. So today we are here as an analyst for LPG Galaxy. Our task is to provide top management with insights of this year's sales that can help the company top management to plan their next year operations and marketing campaigns. And for the first part, analyzing data using the dashboard. You can see in this bar chart, the red, like the tallest bar, this is an LPG 013. It has like very high demand compared to other types of product. And by drilling down into each type in the dashboard, we can observe that the main customer base of the LPG 004 is a cooking gas which is normally used in every industry and in daily life. And for the LPG 013 that has very high demand, it is usually used in the electrical industry. And for LPG 015 and 048, they are normally used in chemical, metals, textiles, and other manufacturing processes. And next is we analyze the pattern within each industry from the pie chart. This pie chart is for the overview. It includes both like industry and service. And you can see that the private sector and state enterprise sector cover almost all of the chart, which is like around 50% for each sector, where the private sector has the highest percentage. And if we drill down to the pie chart for the industry types of business, you can see that the private sector and state enterprise also like cover almost all of the chart, but in this case the state enterprise has higher percent than the private sector. And if we drill down into the service type of business, you can see that the private sector covers like mostly all of the chart, which is around like 70%. And this is the reason why the overall view of the private sector has the highest percentage.
Okay, according to the three maps, the blue left chart is a industry business and the right chart, orange chart is service business. The highest demand in industry business is electrical authority, which is 56.75 of total demand by month, while the least demand is paper, which is 1.39%. Looking at the right side, the highest demand in the service business is office, which is 1.56%, and the least demand is electrical authority, which is 0.28% of total demand per month. Next slide, please. From the bar chart, we can observe that the industry has more customers than service, about 900 customers.
Hello, okay. Let's see the map comparing in different provinces. According to the color, the darkest, the highest in unit demand, which is Samut Prakan province at around 18 million units, following by Bangkok at 6.26 million units. However, the lowest is in Pathum Thani at around 2,000 units. Next. Okay. Compared the different years in line chart, the highest demand was in March 2017 at almost 7 million units. And take a look at 2015 to 2018. Roughly speaking, the tendency has been lower every year according to the gray line. Right. Next. By seasonality or trend in line chart with forecasting. If we look in the forecasting area of the chart, we can see that the season that has the highest demand is in March. The highest demand in 2017. For the confirmation, looking at the line chart, accurate by month, the highest demand month in a year is March, but the lowest period is between December to February. Okay.
Marketing strategy. First strength. Strong customer base in Samut Prakan and Bangkok through LPG is used in various industries and it is commonly used in daily life. 3. Peak demand in March. 4. Official partner of Electrical Authority Department. First weakness. Limited customer area have 5 provinces. True. The demand trend is very fluctuated. 3. Government and public organization demand are very low. 4. No product variety, only 4 products. Next. Long-term plan. 1. Find more public and government organizations to invite influencers to advertise our product. 3. Supply more capacity for high demand periods. Short-term plan. 1. Expand sales area to cover all central regions. 2. Find more customers in service business. 3. Provide more types of products.
Okay, so in addition,
it is
we
it should
missed type.
the top one it should be short-term plan and the lower one it should be long-term plan ครับ
Yes, thank you very much from group 10.
Okay, thank you. Let's move on. Group 1.
Hi everyone, today I'm going to present our LPG tank marketing plan. So let's talk about the first of our data set. In our data set, we have 3 data set. Before we doing the dashboard, we provide 3 data set. That the first one is demand with having what customer that doing with the what they purchase with the demand and which day. And our second data set is ID customer, which giving the customer that what customer are living in or what customer type or in which sector or they are industry or in service. And the last one is SKU. In this one, it's talking about our product that is LPG, which we have 4 type of product, which is LPG 4 kilogram, 15 kilogram, 40 kilogram. And for the next slide, we're going to talk about the relationship that between each data set as a demand to the SKU with using SKU ID and demand to customer ID with using ID of customer. And let's see what are we doing at the dashboard. June.
Okay, this is our dashboard. Okay, wait a minute. This is our dashboard of our filing. As you can see in the graph, the Samut Prakan, Samut Prakan has the highest performance, has the highest demand in this case, and followed by the Bangkok. Samut Prakan. Do you have any question?
No, your sound was like disconnected for a while. Let's just go on.
Really?
It's okay. No.
Okay. And in the Samut Prakan, as you can see, mostly they are work in the industry, and for the LPG, 13 kilogram are the most sold in this section. And for the Bangkok, mostly they are have the company in section of the service, which most LPG 4 kilogram has the highest performance. As you can see in the overall. In the overall of the service, the LPG 4 kilograms seem to have a high performance, and since the 2018, the sales have dropped. And for the industry section, the sales have the fluctuation between the years. Okay, let's move on to my friend.
So as you can see from our dashboard, we found that from our demand, there are demand by industry a lot. About 80% of our product is demand by the industry, and also Samut Prakan and Bangkok have the highest demand. In this one, because Samut Prakan there are many industry in it, and also Bangkok there are some of industry on it. But Pathum Thani or other there are lower on industry. Mostly our demand by service type. And our weakness in this one, we can tell that the lower demand in Pathum Thani is our weakness because they only have about the service type. And so as you can see from the graph, we found that LPG that are for 15 kilogram and 40 kilogram, they are really low for both service and industry. This one lead us to making the campaign. My friend going to talking about the campaign.
Okay, for marketing campaign, since we're looking information from dashboard and we found that LPG 4 kilo and LPG 13 kilo are the most popular for service sector and industry section. So we need to promote for maintain and increase sale by offering a special gift according to the season, such as sometimes we give a gift voucher to our customer, or sometimes we give a lights or umbrella. So this is our short-term plan to create more sales and maintain our sales. And for the next one is we will have a membership card for customer can collect the point when they buy, and the point when they can use for a discount. And this one is for a long-term success because customer will have a will become a loyal customer with our companies. And for the next one,
So for the last one, which is marketing campaign number 3, we will train to increase the sale volume of the non-popular tank, which is 15 and 48 kilogram gas tank by subscription service. We will selling outright the tank to the customer with a 10 refill that them going to use within 1 year. So customer will save about 60% for both sides. And after they finish the refill, we still offer them a cheaper price. So we have a strong relationship with them in a long term. And that's all about our presentations. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, thank you. Group 9.
So we are group 9. Good afternoon, everyone. We are group 9. This present is going to present. We are going to present about the LPG analysis from our group. Next slide. Part 1 is come from the analyzing the data. Next. This is our overall dashboard from the beginning. This one, we can see that our main customer from the service type, but our main demand is come from the industry. And go to next, and we go into detail. We can see that service is mainly come from office and separate it almost equally to the shopping center and hotel, and after that it becomes less and less. And we can see from the line chart that the demand is decreased dramatically at year POSO 2561. This one is a POSO, not COSO. Okay. And next is for the industry. We can see the demand from the industry is more constant compared to the service that have a heavily decreased at 2561. And this one main of our demand come from the electrical authority. And look at the pie chart, we can see that we only have the two main customers, that is the private and the state enterprise. Next, my friend will talk next.
Compared between year for 2015, the large chartment year, the demand is within range for 4,000 and 600,000. For pie chart, state enterprise is more than a half, about 66.36%, and private is only 30%. For the next year, 2016, average demand of 2016 is a bit higher than the previous year. And for the pie chart, now private is more than state enterprise. For private is 52.63 and state enterprise is 47.6. For next year, 2017, average demand of 2017 is a bit higher than the previous year too. And now for pie chart, private is more than state enterprise. For the last year is 2018. This year we see that demand is decreasing a lot when comparing to the previous year. And also for the bar chart, service is less than industry now. Go next.
Now let's talk about the comparison between the provinces. The first one is Pathum Thani. As you can see here, total of 1,000% is come from the service, which is the government office. And for Nonthaburi, it's come from the paper industry, the private paper industry, and the demand is very fluctuate in 2,560. And for the Bangkok, the most demand come from the private property, and the most one is service, the office service, shopping center, hotel, and so on. And for the industry, the chemical and metal product, machinery and equipment. For Samut Prakan, the demand is very high due to there is many industry estates, and the demand is around 400K, and the most one is state enterprise. For Chonburi, there is a lot of industrial estate. As you can see here, there is 1000% chemical industry, and they have the demand around 30K to 200 to 300K.
So next I will speak about the seasonality and trends. So first of all, I will speak about the overall seasonality over 2015 to 2018. As you can see from the graph, the peak performance in each of the year is in March, and most of the period that in March have the most highest demand in each year, and some of them maybe in the first year in 2015 that there is a year that there is a one that has the higher demand. So for 2015 to 2016, as I said, there is in May there is a higher demand than March, but compared to the next year, the demand in that period is dropped down. So it means that this demand is not constant. So we should focus on the demand on the March for next year. Yeah, this year also have the highest performance or highest demand in the March too. Next. And this year. Next come. So for the industry trend, as you can see that there is a trend in 2017 that has a higher demand in that period of time, but have a lower trend in the next year, maybe because of the economic problem or some kind of situation in that period. Next. And the service trend, as you can see that it is the same period of as the industry trend that there is the lower in the demand. So we can see that it definitely has some situation or have some problem in the industrial that affect into this kind of service trend. Next. So I will speak about the SKU quantity. Next one. So as you can see from the bar chart that in each year, the SKU of LPG 01T has the highest order quantity as almost 505,000 K. So if we need to focus on one of the SKU, the LPG 01T is one of the most concerned. Next. So my friend will speak about developing plan.
And yeah, let's move on to the part 2, which is about the developing plan, which including the marketing strategy, capacity, short and long-term plan. Yeah, first I will talk about the short-term plan. For the short-term plan, this graph shows the demand for industry business in each province. So I will separate into two groups. For the first group is about for the low demand province. For this group, we will add the PR promotions to increase the demand for in this group of province. And for the high demand group province, we will add some promotion for refueling gas tank service for lower price in order to increase a brand loyalty. And yet that is the same way for industry and service business long term เลยครับ
Okay, for the long-term plan, next slide. Okay, for the service sector, from the trend is show that the demand is significantly increased in February and to March for each year. So during the year, there is like low level of uncertainty. So during November 2017 to February 2018, the demand was dramatically decreased. So we have to prepare some policy in order to prevent such situation in the future. And next is the capacity strategy for the industry sector. From the trend, the demand is positively increased in the trend from January to March. It's mostly first quarter of the year. So for each year and suddenly decrease. So we must make sure that the capacity during this period will be able to match with the demand. And for the which stock keeping unit should we focus for the first priority that have the most demand is the LPG 013, which is the 13 kilograms tank, and the second one is the 4 kilogram tank. And next slide. And so we should use the 4 P's strategies to apply. So the first one is products. A company offers a good or service to customer and fulfill an existing customer demand. And second one is price, is that the cost must link the price to the product's real perceived value. And for the third one is place. A company have to determine where should they sell a product and how to deliver the product to the market. And the fourth one is promotion. So the company promote by advertising and promotional strategy, and the goal for promoting and a product about why they need it and why should they buy it. And lastly, next slide, strength and weakness. The strength of this business is first is like low cost, and like is this a basic needs for every industry or household. And for the weakness is it can be substituted by many products. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, thank you. Okay, next group 4.
เห็นหน้าสไลด์ไหมคะอาจารย์โอเคค่ะ I'm from group 4. First is compare difference industry and service. Compare difference within each industry. The highest tier industry type is electrical alternative that allows 60.41%, chemical allows 11.68%, and non-metal with 7.7%. Next, the graph compare different service within each service. The highest tier service type are office with 25.76%, shopping center 23.96%, and hotel with 20.4%. Next, let's see the compare different year. In this graph, you can see that in year 2016, we get higher from 2015, about 10.70%. In 2017, it's going in the same way of 2016, and it's higher than 2016, about 7.22%. And in the last year, 2018, the demand decreased about 18.16% from year 2017.
Next is the pattern within each industry and service. In this graph, you will see that the highest industry of every year is in electrical authority, that over 50% for each year. And in this graph, the highest service of every year is office and shopping center, that over 6 and 5% for each year. Next is compare different provinces. This map shows that the total demand of province. As you can see, Samut Prakan have the highest demand, followed by Bangkok, Nonthaburi, Pathum Thani, and the last one is Chonburi.
Next is seasonality or trend. We separate each year to quarter. For example, in 2015, from quarter 1 to quarter 2, demand rise, but after quarter 2, demand decreased dramatically. In 2018, from quarter 1 to quarter 2, demand increased gradually, but decreased in quarter 3 and rose up again in quarter 4. Next, marketing information. This dashboard is show information that we want to plan the next year's factory strategy. In pattern within each industry, the lowest three industry types are woodwork, paper, and auto industry, while the lowest three service types are electrical authority, waterwork, and ranching. So we decide to make marketing in these 6 types.
Next is marketing and capacity strategy. First, I will talk about strength and weakness. In strength, we have a high sale in Samut Prakan and Bangkok, and we have many industry for our customer. The weakness is we have low sale in Chonburi, Nonthaburi, and Pathum Thani, and only electrical authority got high interest by customer. In short-term plan, we will give promotion to customer, and long-term plan, we will create new industry and service and invest in another province. Next, capacity strategies for industry and service. First, adding capacity in anticipation of a very high demand of product. For example, electrical authority, which is having a highest demand in industry type. Second, increase capacity by doing the forecasting to generate cost saving for highest value and using the lower cost to increase marketing share. Next is marketing strategy for industry and service. First, using a balance of both traditional offline and online digital marketing technique, make the business grow faster and have more profitable than employ only traditional marketing strategy. Second, create new promotion to increase sales and using paid social ad as one of strategy. Show ad to people most likely to be interested in the product and service. For social ad, we can target people on macro level and micro level to connect with a very specific audience. Third, in short term, offering a free tail of premium products. Free tail and premium products are attract qualified interest prospects who aren't ready to buy. In long term, company have to launch a new product. And this is our presentation. Thank you.
Next, group 8.
เห็นสไลด์ไหมคะ
เห็นแล้วค่ะ
โอเค Good evening, teacher. We are from Group 8, and today we would like to present the analysis data from LPG tank using the dashboard. This is the dashboard that we do in the previous lecture. ต้องเปิดกล้องไหมคะอาจารย์
เปิดค่ะ เปิด
ค่ะหนูลืมโอเค And we create additional chart like this. For SKU, the company has higher demand on LPG 013, which is 81.23%, and the lowest demand is LPG 048, which is 1.52%. From different provinces, we see that Samut Prakan has higher demand, and for industry and services, the type that had higher demand is electrical authority, which is almost 57%. To compare different years by demand, we see that in 2017 has higher demand. And the trend and forecast demand, the deadline is show the trend in each year. And in 2019, it forecast demand. And it through it trend and forecast demand by service and industry.
Strength. We have strong sale of LPG 13 kilo in Samut Prakan and 56 of electrical have highest percent in total. Weakness. LPG 48 kilo tank have highest weight and lowest sale.
In long-term plan, to production capacity of each SKU, we will set it from the forecast demand in 2019. And we will focus on LPG 013, that is the most demand with around 400,000 units. Next.
For short-term plans, we have 4 Ps, which are product that we mainly focus on our highest demand LPG 013, which is LPG 13 kilo tank. And for the price, we set reasonable and decent prices depend on the demand for each product. And for promotion, we provide free transportation services for our loyal customers to boost up sales and further purchases. And lastly, please, we provide our products at local gas stations in every province that we have analyzed in a dashboard. And that's in our presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Last, group 7.
Hi everyone, we are from Group 7. Now we are going to present about LPG Galaxy Company analysis. Next. First of all, we have analyzed the demand of our province. The result shows that the Samut Prakan province had the highest demand, which is 18 million. We compare to other provinces that Samut Prakan has the highest demand. So we look deeper in detail. Next, in Samut Prakan, we analyze the industry for Samut Prakan province. Electrical authority has the highest percentage of demand, which is 76.63%. Next, and we have already analyzed for service in Samut Prakan province. The result shows that office service has the highest percentage of demand, which is 25.76%. Next.
Oh, okay. The demand of LPG that from the 2014 to 2019 show that the demand in 2016 has a highest demand from all time, and they go down up in many seasons. Some season as higher, but in 1970 is go very down from the another year. Next. Okay, the pattern within industry. This pattern that we focus in Samut Prakan because the Samut Prakan has a lot of industry in this province, and see that in all the industry, electrical authority all the year from 2015 to 2018 is the highest one all year. So that means this LPG Galaxy Corporation that have a main product is electrical authority. Next, but in the service industry, in 2015 is the shopping center, and 2016, 17, and 18 is the school. But in all the data that say the service have a very less than the industry electrical authority. Next. Okay, this graph is show the trend from the data that we focus on the electrical authority because the electrical authority has a highest product in this company, and see that in 4 years the trend to use electrical is very go down, and the trend that I think is in many next year that people can use this electrical authority less than in this year. So next. Okay, stated at business. All the company have a high. Okay, next. Same thing. Okay. In the stated and witness, we can see that the data can show that this company has a strength that we have many industry in company, and electrical authority is the very big strength for this company. Okay, next.
For the we can see that in service sector, the province still has a lower demand of the company. Next. For a long-term plan, as we can see from the highest demand value, which is electrical authority, the company may find new resource that environment friendly. This is one of the best plan that can be produced to meet customer demand in future. Next. For a short-term plan marketing campaign OPS, the first one is products. We will adjust our product to satisfy the customer need, which we help to not keep a lot of the product in our inventory and the short of the product. The second one is price. we give a discount every 3 months. The third one is we will increase distribution channels so we can reach more of the customer. The last one is promotions. Do the advertising on social media such as YouTube, Facebook, and so on. Okay, next. Thank you for attention.
Okay, next. Okay, thank you guys. Yeah, we're done quite late. Thank you all. I'll see you. You have a video class on Wednesday, yeah. And then I'll see you next Sunday. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, teacher.
Bye.